was going to wear this to introduce my Friday Sews video for the 3rd of March, which is tomorrow, but I'm not feeling very well today, and I usually record it on a Thursday and then edit it and put it up for Friday morning. But the video for the February makes is all but finished, so if I just add this on, then that means I've got something to put out. Okay, thank you for watching. Well, hello. I'll introduce myself as hi, it's Susan at Seaside Stitches, because I don't know which one of me will be introing the video. The Friday Pattern Company woman, or this woman. Right, this woman is, this started life in this, from this fabric, and it was in Abercarn in around May 2021, and I bought it with quite a few different t-shirt fabrics that I was intending to make to join a challenge by Sew Joey, which was hashtag t-shirts for summer. I think I've got that right for the first time in saying it over so long. I don't know. Anyway, alongside it, because this is a really t-shirty kind of thing, but with a little bit of stretch, but not a lot, I decided I would make something in this, and I haven't done my twirl by the door yet, but I may put it in before, so I don't know. It's quite, I just really like it. I like the colours of it. I like the fact that it ended up, I thought it was just randomness, but it's got a kind of diamond pattern down the length of it. And I made it from this, which is just an A-line kind of, I think they call it a jumper on here. I think it must be a US, in the US it's a jumper. For me, that's a pinafore. So yes, so I made it in that, but that doesn't have any darts down the back, and it just becomes really baggy. So I've refashioned it, and it doesn't have a, it does have a seam down the back. It has a zip down the back, but I didn't put a zip in because this is stretchy. That's kind of more of a tweedy kind of a thing. And well, obviously it didn't make that challenge, and I'd only thought of it as being a t-shirt dress, because you could either have a t-shirt or a t-shirt dress, and none of the two t-shirts that I was doing for it made the 21 t-shirt challenge, and I thought I may cheekily submit them with a bit of caveat that actually they're a year late for the 22, but they weren't finished then either, and neither was this. So this has been hanging about on different videos. The last one I saw it on was in August. This is my month, or even the next month, or the month after that, to catch up with everything that is hanging about waiting. And then I'd managed to learn how to do a neckband. I was relatively pleased with it because it doesn't come with a neckband on the pattern. I had to do that measurement thing and assess how much stretch I'd got and whether it would go on. And I managed it, but I overpressed it and then it was a bit baggy. So I decided I would leave it up there. It was already hemmed, and I would just get back to it when I was ready. Well, I was ready sometime, in January. So in January I put the band on. I made a new band for it and I put the band on. But that was leaving. It still had long sleeves. They were 2.5 inches too long, but that was okay because I was going to put elastic in them. But that's what they were waiting for then. So for February I treated them to put this is the normal sleeve that I used for the S8875 that is on most of my dresses now, and I pinched the Harper cardigan cuff and I just gathered the end in, but I knew they were too long, and when I measured them I decided I would take off whatever it was that I needed to take off. And this morning I just bent down to put my shoes on and I thought, ooh, they are just a tiny bit too short. But not really, not in the real life, not when I'm not bending down and fastening a shoe. So yes, so they are finished. It is finished now. So this is another that is finally finished in February, and there may be someone else coming on in a little while who looks very like me, who is going to show you something else that is finished in February. So see you in a bit. Bye. Hi. You may not have my head on, but anyway, this is in the spirit of finally finished in February, and this is my what I call my green dress, and it's a functional dress. I'm very pleased with it. It's very, very comfortable, and yeah, it's got a headband on. It's got a neckband on, which I'm proud of, and it's just really comfy. It's going to be great for sitting and sewing in. It's obviously very lightweight, so it's not really appropriate for me to be up here in at the moment while we've got this issue with heating and keeping warm and things. So it's not part of my just stay warm in January. It's finally finished in February. So thank you. Okay, so I don't know if you've got my head on, but this is the Friday Pattern Company Westcliffe dress. You can't help but go sort of like that. Do it. Yes, so this is Friday Pattern Company Westcliffe dress, and it is finally finished. Oh, it is half a Westcliffe dress. The top half is the Westcliffe dress. This skirt, the just more A-line skirt, is the S8875 that I'm so fond of, with the lowered waist to the normal waist-ish. Didn't want the belt. It's a silly belt. I don't know what that's about. I have worn it with a patent belt, and that's nice, but I just wanted to show you what it is as it is. So, and it may fit well now, but oh, has it gone through some processes. Okay, so this is my finally finished in February video. I do now like the top of this dress. Well, I do like the dress as it is, but I don't think it does anything particularly wonderful for me. I do love the fabric. Because I had some issues with it, I don't know if I've just fallen out with it really. The only thing I had to do since last, I don't know, October, November, was to finish the sleeves. I just needed to decide where I was putting the sleeves, where I was taking them up to. And actually this may be a temporary decision, but I'm quite happy with them as they are at this moment. But I do have other options because I left them a little bit longer so that I can have turn-up cuffs on them. Anyway, that's not the issue. There aren't any issues. I have done a bit of a video of making part of this, and just as a spoiler alert, if you want to watch it and see how I go on with it, the spoiler is actually I spent 3.5 hours on it, and I took it apart twice, but I did rebuild it, and it's been a journey. So that's what I'd call it. It's been a journey, and I didn't want the kind of swinging out A-line skirt with this fabric because I thought it was too structured, and it would just, I didn't want that. I did think about a ruffle, but because there was some fault on the fabric, I didn't have enough to put a ruffle on. But actually I was fed up of it really. By the time I decided, am I going to buy some more fabric, or am I going to wrangle with the fabric company to give me a little bit more? But actually I don't need another dress with another ruffle on, and it will be a functional dress, and that's all I need really. It's I didn't make it as a best dress. It's bright enough and cheery enough for me to enjoy wearing it while I'm sewing. It's comfortable enough now that I've got the I don't know if other people's are so high up at the back. I love this. I think it's a mistake because I did the back in the bigger size as well, but I really love that, how it kind of hugs my neck. I have an issue with I don't know if it's the round-shouldered issue or whatever you call it, but I always have big baggy bits here at the back round the sides of a zip, or however I finish the dress, unless I've got a neckband on. But this, I just love that neck. So there's my thing that's good about it. And I remade the sleeves and I did everything. And yes, I'm very pleased how I persisted, because I have got a complete garment, so I'm very pleased about that. So moving on, there will be someone else sitting here looking very like me but wearing something else that has also been finished in February. So she may have her hair a bit different and not have these two flicks here and this, or she might not, I don't know. Okay, see you in a bit. With my heads on or not, but it doesn't really matter. I have another finally finished in February that goes with my just warm in January Billy sweater. And this is my finally finished in February pinafore dress the number of which I will put on the screen. It's got an S in it and it's got an 8 and possibly a 4 in it, but I can't remember. I'm really pleased with it. It's just very, very simple, kind of a bit of a 60s kind of a vibe. But it's a little bit longer than that. But anyway, it's going to serve me well because it's just got this bit of lemon and a bit of pink and and it's brown and whatever. And it looked quite miserable, sat in the drawer all rolled up. But I think it's got a new lease of life now, and I can pop on a pink polo neck or a yellow polo neck or whatever polo neck I want to put on it because it's finished. And I did put a zip in and I ended up not having needed to, but it's not really stretchy, so I didn't want to take a chance. So that's it, and I don't know, I can't remember in what order I've filmed this. So I'm just a little snippet that's coming on and going, finally finished in February, Pinafore. So instead of me coming through the door, I'm just coming down the hall. And this is me, and I don't know if you've got the full length, but I did take some outside in the garden, but some people were coming, so I rushed in to see if I can find where the dress ends, and so that you can see just how short or how long it is, and just how simple it is, and that's it really. So I'll join all these little bits together, and you'll be like that, and finally finished in February. Very well lit up, but all it needs now is the hem. And I've bought the bias binding to go with that. Had run out. Well, I hadn't intended to bind the hem, but I think it would finish it off nicely because the neck and the armholes have gone together well now. They've actually sewn well, but for some reason I put the binding on from the inside on one armhole, went and did the other armhole, and then I put it on again from the wrong side on the other one. So anyway, and that is my toile for the, I don't know if it is orgave or orgave dress, but it is a deer and doe dress, and it's very strange at the moment, but that fabric is not the right stretch for it, so I don't know if that's why it's acting peculiarly, but the bodice fits me absolutely like a dream. I love it. That's absolutely my fit, so I will show you that at some point. And the other thing was, yes, I had been rummaging through the drawers to see what else I might want to finish, and I found the Camden Pinafore from Nina Lena. I made this. I was thrilled to bits with it. Something like January 22. I was absolutely thrilled to bits with it. The way it had gone together. I'd never ever put any lining in a bodice. I stretched the bodice a bit because it was on the bias. The satiny kind of lining was on the bias and I didn't realise, and I'd pulled it a bit when I was going through under the shoulders where you've got to push a bit through to one side. But I just could not get the bodice to fit me. It just went like that. And if you look at the pattern, when you look at some of the images with people wearing it, it does that to them as well. Occasionally not, but some of them, yes, it does. So I couldn't get it right. I hadn't learned how to do low bust adjustments then. I have then studied that, and then I did make another bodice. Whoops. And had put together another bodice, not just now. I had put together another bodice, but I hadn't finished any of the seams off, and so I decided I would do that this week. Check with it, check the fit, and what I found was that there isn't enough fabric at the back. I may have mentioned I have put a little bit of weight on, but I have made it extra wide at the back, extra wide to cross at the back. This is my Camden Pinafore that I abandoned and being remade, and now I'm remaking it again. It's looking very wide at the back because I've got extra. That's upside down. And yes, I put the band on, took the band off, made it longer, and I'm going to adjust it and put it together again and see where that takes me. And we'll match it to the skirt because the skirt is ample at the back. And the belt was, it's not really a belt, it's a division between the bodice and the skirt. And the bodice is coming down too long on me, and this was not wide, not deep, it didn't meet at the back. It didn't meet by not much, but it didn't meet. So I've made a new strap for it, a new belt, and new back pieces just out of the bits of fabric, because it feels like it's worth finishing now as a kind of toile, so that I can use this purple that I've mentioned before. This is purple, very fine needle cord, but I want to work out what I can make out of it and how much I will need of it before I cut a piece off it, because there's 3.5 meters or more, and it's really heavy and dense, and I don't want to put the whole lot in the washing machine, and then it all end up a big crumpled mess. So I want to know kind of how much I'm going to need of it, and this doesn't tell me because this is quite a short dress and I have added 8 inches onto the bottom of this. It may be quite matronly when I've finished it, but I can always shorten it, whereas I can't lengthen it, can I, unless I put a frill on, and I haven't any more fabric now. So that has just been having my attention over the last couple of days. I'm not on any kind of, oh, I've got to get all my whips sewn up. I just feel like there's a big clearing kind of session going on, and I'm really pleased about it, and I'm also learning. I'm just enjoying the process. That's what I'm doing. It's not the journey. I'm enjoying the process of expanding my mind on how to do things and how to do things differently, and I think I'm putting it together a bit differently than you put this together. And the other thing I may do, and I may still do this, is take the side seams off, take it apart at the side seams, put the belt on just for the front and the 2 belt bits for the back, and then I like to put my zip in. When I'm putting a zip in, I like to do it when it's not all fixed together. So I like to do it on the flat, and then I can measure the back against something else that I know fits me, and then put the zip in. I have to do all the actions, you know. I'm from the north, and my history is that my grandma and both my different grandmas and my great grandmas were in the mill, and they were winding things and they were pulling things and pushing things, and I don't know if that's where that comes from, but in our family there's a lot of this and a lot of that, and yes, so that may be why I'm expressive, or it just may be I just can't sit still. This is my, I want to call it Friday Pattern Company. This is my Nina Lee Camden Pinafore. I have added 8 inches to the length, and I started making this about a year ago. I made it, I pulled it apart. Anyway, I'm wearing a Freya top that I made in 2020, one of my first makes really since I got back into sewing. It's still not the best fit across here, but it's getting there. I mean, it's done now, I'm not messing about with it, but I want it as a toile for using for something else, so that I can use a purple cord or a red needle cord I've got. So it's turned out much better than it was doing, and at least it's not in the bottom drawer in pieces. So okay, so I will trim this down a lot, and then I will put it out to you, and I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you enjoy your knitting, your sewing, your crafting, and thank you to everyone who has watched my channel, everyone who has added to their own channels and inspired me, and see you next week, all being well. Thank you. So it's Susan at Seaside Stitches signing off. Bye for now.